do have a plan in place if someone was to test positive.
Tonight, as coronavirus cases grow, Hardin County is urging the public to take precaution how it's dealing with the virus.
What's going to be interesting is finding out when that cruise ship actually started having problems.
One woman being quarantined after being abroad on a cruise ship where 21 of her fellow passengers tested positive for COVID-19, where she's being held tonight and when she'll be able to come home.
With growing coronavirus fears, people are buying a lot more. I'm Victoria White. Stay with us and I'll tell you what stores are doing in response.
Well, quite a few clouds out there right now, and it's going to be quite warm heading into the weekend.
Live from the KFDM studios, you're watching KFDM 6 News at 6.
We begin tonight with an update just into our KFDM newsroom. All Beaumont ISD events have been suspended for the safety of students. This includes sporting events and practices.
Classes will still be held tomorrow. Again, classes will still be in session tomorrow. BISD is on spring break next week and will return March 23rd. For more information about school closures, visit our website, kfdm.com. Happening now, COVID-19 is spreading globally and right now with no confirmed cases in Southeast Texas. But the Hardin County Office for Emergency Management wants the public to take the necessary steps just in case by keeping the numbers down.
KFDM's Tan Radford joins us tonight in the studio. And Tan, you met with Hardin County's emergency management team.
Greg, Tiffany, the Hardin County Emergency Management Office says hygiene is key for anyone that comes in contact with the virus and to avoid getting the virus. The office says call your healthcare provider and do not go into the doctor's office if you may be infected. The virus is spread through respiratory droplets from an infected person's coughs or sneezes. Symptoms ranging from fever, cough, and shortness of breath. It can be prevented by cleaning hands, avoiding close contact, and infecting your surroundings. Those infected should distance themselves from others by 6 feet, wearing face masks, and disinfect.
We do have a plan in place if someone was to test positive, and we also have a plan in place if someone is have visited one of the affected areas and they may have been exposed.
The symptoms may appear 2 to 14 days after being exposed to the virus. Greg.
All right, Dan, thank you. A 79-year-old Beaumont woman is now being quarantined at the Air Force Base in San Antonio. She had been on a Princess cruise ship for a bridge tournament. The cruise was stopped and 21 passengers tested positive for COVID-19. KFDM's Joy Addison reports why the Beaumont woman and others cannot yet return home.
What's going to be interesting is finding out when that cruise ship actually started having problems.
A 79-year-old Beaumont woman is now being quarantined in San Antonio after traveling on a Princess cruise that was denied entry back into its original docking port in San Francisco after 2 passengers and 19 crew members tested positive for the coronavirus.
Over the weekend, it was kind of a wait-and-see situation, and then it was determined that the ship would go to Oakland, California to go into port there. And then Health and Human Services and some local agencies took over handling of the passengers.
COVID-19 test kits were dropped from the Coast Guard via helicopter shortly after the cruise was stopped and passengers aboard were quarantined to their rooms. This action taken shortly after a man who was on a previous cruise died from the novel coronavirus.
There were 62 people from that gentleman's cruise that had stayed on for the leg of my mother's cruise. There was the potential that some of those people had come down with the coronavirus, and did turn out to be the case.
All U.S. passengers aboard that Princess cruise were flown to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, where they are currently being held in quarantine for 2 weeks, the period of time someone could have the virus and spread it before showing any symptoms.
One of the things that they're doing is once a day, a department personnel will come to the apartment where my mom and her roommate are staying and they check their temperature.
LeJay says her mother is in high spirits and the quarantine has caused no major inconveniences, but her mother says she dearly misses her dog. In Beaumont, Joy Addison, KFDM 6 News.
Leger says she and her mother are satisfied with how the situation is being handled and feel being smart leads to being safe. They will continue to follow the directions given by the CDC.
COVID-19 causing concern and panic for some around the world. Right here in Southeast Texas, a lot of folks gathering supplies, just as a precaution, they say.
And they are gathering them. That is indeed true. KFDM's Victoria White is live one day after the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic. Victoria, what looks to be the hottest items flying off store shelves?
Tiffany, Greg, the last time a pandemic was declared was in 2009 with H1N1. Now there's a travel ban from the U.S. to Europe. The NBA has canceled the remainder of this season, and people are stocking up on high-demand items like toilet paper, water, antibacterial soap, hand sanitizer, and wipes, and stores are increasing supplies. Maria Bomia is preparing for the worst.
Virus is going around. Now I'm scared to come out of my house.
Wednesday, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Now people are coming to Target for supplies.
It just sort of popped up out of nowhere, and it spread it seems pretty rapidly. So it's an understanding panic. I don't understand the toilet paper thing though, but it's an understandable panic.
Stores are responding to increased demand due to coronavirus concerns.
I am concerned, but I'm not panicked.
Target is dedicating 12 hours each day to cleaning. 4 trucks come in to restock every week. They are talking about adding more to provide people with supplies. The United States also issued a travel ban to Europe.
I know my husband's coworker, she can't come back. She's in Europe and she's stuck over there for 30 days.
I mean, it makes it safer for it to not come into the U.S., I guess. But still, it's already here.
Some apartments also sent residents a detailed letter.
They had probably 6 pages worth of information about coronavirus.
And the NBA canceled the remainder of the season.
If they can cancel such large events and such things, they bring in great revenue, it has to be a serious case.
While the survival rate for the young and healthy is high, some say they are more concerned for the elderly population.
Honestly, I'm more worried for my grandmother or someone else's grandmother, because they're kind of the people that are more at risk with this because they already have a compromised immune system.
And as for Lamar, students are thinking about the coronavirus too.
You just got to be careful.
Beyond school,
My biggest concern is paying my bills. To be honest, if we go into quarantine, I'll have to see how my job's gonna handle that.
some people have reported empty shelves in various stores, but stores say more supplies are coming. In Beaumont, Victoria White, KFDM 6 News.
Meantime, Lamar University will be holding online classes following spring break. Beginning March 23rd through the 29th, students at Lamar will have to use the Blackboard system to access course content. The campus will keep computer labs open for students who have limited internet access. Dining services will resume as scheduled in a limited capacity, though. Lamar University also suspending international travel through the end of the spring semester.
Wash my hands when I go to the restroom. Try to avoid touching my face. As you know, as a sign language interpreter, our hands are everything to us, so we try to minimize that as well.
And we learned today Lamar State College Port Arthur is canceling classes next week, and Lamar State College Orange is extending its spring break by a week. We have all that posted on our website, kftm.com. Meantime, health officials in Houston holding a joint news conference as another presumptive coronavirus case is identified in the area. The total tonight up to 17 in the Houston area, and now there's evidence of community spread. Officials at this hour trying to get ahead, stopping the virus in its tracks. Harris County asking the community to try and postpone events or hold them online. Events of 250 or more are canceled. Meantime, employers are asked to let employees work from home. Harris County also will not have employees accepting cash at toll roads. And the city of Houston tonight waiving water bills.
With numbers continuing to grow, here's a look at cases coming as up to tonight anyway. Around the world, over 130,000 cases have been reported. Almost 5,000 have died. But in positive news, almost 69,000 have recovered. For continuing coverage of COVID-19, stick with us both on air and online, kfdm.com. Well, as more events are canceled throughout the nation, organizers want you to know the Nederland Heritage Festival is still a go. The festival has a petting zoo with ponies to carnival rides and more than double local food vendors. The free event runs through Sunday with live music and a parade on Saturday.
And the South Texas State Fair is still on as of now. County Judge Jeff Brannick tells us he's staying in close contact with the YMBL. That's the organization that puts on the fair every year. Brannick says he'd have to declare a local health emergency similar to what Houston and Austin did when they canceled their events. Brannick says there's no need to do that right now in Jefferson County. The America This Week special tonight is on coronavirus. Plan Don't Panic with Eric Bowling. It's streaming right now on our website, kfdm.com. Guests include Surgeon General Vice Admiral Jerome Adams, as well as several doctors, along with a congressman and a couple who tested positive for coronavirus. That special is empowering viewers with facts so you can make better informed decisions for you and your family and friends.